Welcome to Courageous Conversation with Teresa W. Gamble, a cultural storytelling, gracious space to bridge generational gaps through active listening and action-oriented changes.
Greetings and welcome everybody. This is your host Teresa W. Gamble, Courageous Conversations, and this beautiful episode for 2022 is to talk about and focus on the culture in my hometown, Jacksonville, Florida, Northeast Florida, Duval County, for those of you who are familiar with the different names of our city. So today I have the honor and privilege to interview and do a virtual tour in the Ritz Theatre Museum with the museum administrator, Adonnica L. She is our culture series reoccurring speaker on our radio show. And this episode is the beginning of a series that launched our YouTube channel where you can actually see the beautiful artifacts that Adonnica Toler has long-term collected, archived, presented. And it's not just local history that she is connected to. This episode is to introduce and show you the Nelson Mandela art exhibit from South Africa that is housed in the Ritz Museum since October 2021 and will be here until April 2022. So we're getting an inside backstage pass on what these amazing art exhibits look like in South Africa and how local artists in Jacksonville, Florida is connected to this exhibit and how they express their cultural experiences from what we have been going through all our lives, but mostly during the social unrest of the pandemic, political, health, economic, and criminal pandemics that's been going on. So today it gives me a privilege and an honor to take you on the virtual tour of the beautiful things that I see in our city and how we can make a difference to be able to dive more in depth in our history so we can educate our young people, our children, to get more involved with our culture, to understand the legendary people who was a part of creating accessibility for all the things that we have been afforded to and benefited to. So stay tuned, stay connected. This series will be going on for the entire month of Black History in 2022. So you get to see the amazing art exhibits that's already been housed here from the Jacksonville, Florida, Northeast Florida community for the South African American exhibit entitled Nelson Mandela Traveling Art Show, and then how local artists connected to the exhibit in South Africa. So stay tuned, keep listening, keep watching, and make sure you share this opportunity to inspire to do the same in your community. Courageous Conversations with Teresa Gamble. We are live on location at the Ritz Theatre Museum in Jacksonville, Florida, with the amazing Adonnica L, the museum administrator. She is our monthly reoccurring culture expert. She talks about the culture life in Jacksonville and the impact of all the pioneers and trailblazers has had in Jacksonville and beyond. So welcome, Adonnica.
Hi, Teresa.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Our listeners get to see you in person. So we just gonna jump right in because we got a backstage pass today. It's quiet, so we get to be able to really spend time with Adonnica to learn everything that she does, have been doing, how she's contributing to our history in Jacksonville, Florida, and have some international connections. So stay tuned. So Adonnica, tell me what's been going on with this amazing new exhibit from South Africa, named after Nelson Mandela.
Correct. So, first of all, thank you for coming and bringing your guests to see what I do so that I'm real, everyone. But I'm really proud to showcase this exhibit. I'm part of a cultural exchange with the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan Art Museum in Port Elizabeth, or Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality. This is a collaboration between Jacksonville Sister Cities, the Ritz Theatre Museum, and the Nelson Mandela Committee of the Jacksonville Sister Cities. And our goal was to collaborate to do an art collection or art exhibit together. So this is one of these wonderful opportunities that you're not looking for, but you get that telephone call or the tap on your shoulder. So in 2018 would have been 100 years that Nelson Mandela, he would have been 100 years old if he was still alive. So the city of Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, or Port Elizabeth, decided they wanted to have a year-long celebration. So they reached out to us in 2017 saying, we want to do this in 2018, make you a part of our 100 year-long celebration for Nelson Mandela Bay.
Wow. Now see, y'all, okay, they want Adonnica to participate in this 100-year celebration. That means this girl got some skills.
Thank you. So the Nelson Mandela Committee here in Jacksonville, I'm a part of that committee, and I already was doing an art series called Through Our Eyes that showcased African American artists in Northeast Florida. And the art series was started in 1993 just for that, because locally African Americans were not given the opportunity to show their artwork in other museums. And so I adopted or received this exhibit after the founder retired. So I became the museum administrator, and she left this exhibit into my hands.
Oh, wow.
And so this is one of the projects that came about after it. So not only does this showcase African Americans in Jacksonville, this is now an international art series.
Wow. See that? I told you, courageous conversation is moving beyond borders.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about these amazing pieces that's behind you that I think is part of the Nelson Mandela.
Yes, these are this part. So there's two sections that you're going to see. The front part of the gallery, these are the artworks from South Africa. These are the art pieces that the artist responded to the exhibit I sent in 2018.
Wow.
And later you will see some of the artwork of the artist who went to South Africa. But we are in front of the gallery, and you see these wonderful pieces. This is actually one of my favorites, but actually there's a lot of them that are my favorite. But they're also very interesting. And what we have seen from artists on both sides, that they both did their research on each country and each city.
Wow.
So you'll see, the Statue of Liberty, and if you look closer into this piece, you'll see all the little innuendos of things that are happening here due to the pandemic, due to racial issues. They're even dealing with economic injustice. You see how Superman and the Statue of Liberty are going at it. And so they've studied our culture, and they've influenced, and this is one of these great ones that you can see this artist really studied our culture and is represented in this piece. And it is one of the many interesting pieces that is here, and I'm always drawn to this piece. And it's interesting to me that they used green as an overlay. So I really would love to talk to this artist and get their idea why they used the colors they did. But Superman is a symbol of here in America. All the Avengers and all these movies that are out now. So items that we definitely recognize, dealing with the rioting that's been happening here in America. So this is what you're going to see throughout the exhibition. And there's always these little innuendo things you didn't notice it before, and they've really studied this culture. Really well.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And another one, this is an interesting one. It actually, if you look at it, you'll see that this is the American flag, the South African flag, and the nooses. Mm-hmm. And each noose has a name of a marker in the civil rights movement or in race relations. So here is Steve Biko. So Steve Biko is very important in the freedom movement in South Africa. And over here, right next to him, is Emmett Till. So we know the story of Emmett Till. So again, the use of the chicken wire fence, which is prevalent in their culture, and the nooses that are unfortunately significant in our culture. And I think Malcolm X is represented, and Dr. King. So they understand they understood as they say, he understood the assignment. And so it's very a beautiful piece, just simply because of that. And as you walk through the rest of the piece, there's about 42 pieces.
Wow.
And they are, most of them do deal with issues, race issues, social issues. What you will find is that in both cities, both countries, race is an issue. Race is challenging that they're dealing with here.
Awesome, Adonnica. We're going to take a commercial break and we will be back. Hold on.
Facebook Elevate is a program that can help you grow your business, skills, and career with free digital marketing courses, potential job opportunities, and coaching from Facebook experts. Click to learn more. Facebook Elevate, on the rise, together.
Teresa, we got some bonus footage for you on our South African exhibits that I really want to highlight because some of the colors are amazing. So, Adonnica, let's start with this piece. What is this piece?
So, when you first said, what's your favorite piece? I was like, that's a very unfair question because there's so many great pieces. And this is one of them. This is a sculpture. This is called The Load. And the artist is Graham Jones. And this is one of the South African artists. And this is a unique bust, a collage, and from the Coca-Cola bottle, soda bottle, the break piece,
Like
to pipe, yes, part of the car, and then the batteries, see that's the pack of batteries. See, you buy batteries.
Oh, wow.
See how they did that? Just the unique ways he incorporated all these everyday items and created this. Artist incorporated it with her face. It's called I don't know, this and the cow.
It's powerful.
And it's very powerful piece. It is also very heavy.
Wow.
But it's a beautiful piece. The detail, everyday items that were used to incorporate this piece, from even the little, little stickers on the hooks on the wall, and yeah.
You know what? This is a visual representation, ladies and gentlemen, of everything that goes on in the African American mind. Literally. All the things, and he captured the bruises and the skin texture from like being in the sun, or working,
or maybe having issue. Just maybe this person was beaten up, or maybe they're burnt in a fire, or just the weight of living.
Exactly.
And sometimes people can see it in their face and their age and everything.
Wow.
But it's also so powerful. I really like this piece. I often come in here and just look at her and see what other pieces, like I wonder what this is and what is that, and then I recognize the pieces. So here again, a perfect example of allowing your imagination to let it flow through you, and you create such a unique, wonderful piece as this. Now the two pieces behind them, I love them.
Wow.
And I kind of envisioned in my head they're sitting here talking about her. Now this is not talking about her in a bad way, because I think she knows she's powerful, beautiful. She's a bad chick. She ain't studying none of y'all. She may have had this stroke, but she's strong and beautiful. Yeah. And they over here like, yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Now look at her. You see this? And this is just my, interpretation of what he's got that side eye going on, which we can do very well.
Yes.
And he's got that little thing, when someone says something you don't believe, so okay. But I just love the character. I love the wrinkles, and he just looks like somebody I know. Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of art. Like, it's like, I've seen this person, and you probably can't connect it, but you're drawn to the person, and then they look so wonderful. And I hope when they're purchased, they go together. It seems like they should go together. Yes. But I just love the fact that he used unique colors for the hair, and which now I'm seeing a lot of people wearing purple in their hair, and of course doing different lip. I mean, it's just doing lip color. It's just reflecting so much energy. As you can see,
I would love this piece right here. See, I needed this piece because I was a classroom teacher. So when my children will be cutting up in class, all I need to do is point to the picture right here. Because, you know, teachers, we have to watch what we say on certain. I just point to the picture, say like, really?
So, and see that's the beauty of art. See, it drew you to an experience.
Yeah.
And for me, I created this whole story about what they could say.
That's true.
And you said, now this is when I had the classroom, so I give these children.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty of art.
So this one would be for my parents who come in there saying their child ain't bad and didn't do nothing. This would be the look this is the one I would point at. Really? Do you really think I'm gonna believe your child? So that's where my mind went as a classroom teacher. Because a lot of times, like you said, we cannot always vocalize. That's one thing you mentioned earlier. We can't vocalize how we really feel.
Right,
so when we using art, when we using imagery, when we using symbols,
right,
it's symbolic. It sends a message.
Right. Poetry, songs, all those things. The arts. That's what the arts do for us. Because sometimes issues are too painful to share with someone, and you don't want to share certain things, but maybe you can express it through an art piece or form. It helps you get that hurt out of your system. So the arts are so important, and that is what is attacked the most in school. The least amount of financial support in schools, and because a kid drawing, or it just, you could use that as a tool. If you don't do your work, you can't draw. They go, okay. And I know that happened to us in school.
Yeah.
If we were acting up, and I said, if you don't behave, I'm not gonna let the art teacher come today. We go, right. Everybody all right, behave, because we want the art teacher. The arts are so important. It serves, it heals us, soothes us, and helps us to get through some really tough times.
And it helped with mental health issues
It helps
too.
with mental health issues.
So I'm just curious because I know when we were in school, we did have art. We had art, we had home ec, we had all the Life Scouts training programs. But now that does not exist. My grandson won't experience that unless we fight to get these things incorporated back in the public and private school systems so they can come out with basic life skill sets and to become a productive citizen in society. So that's another issue. If your child is not getting that arts, that music, these are ways that they can express and deal with mental health issues, and not just for the children, even for some of us adults. We need to have an outlet to be able to deal with these mental health issues if we're not a communicative person, or we don't want to be demeaned because we having mental issues with something. So that's why culture and art is very important, and music, because I'm a music lover.
Yeah, the music.
We music lovers.
Dancing, all those things can help you deal with some issues when you're not ready.
Awesome. So we're gonna work on that initiative and that campaign where y'all can join us to get arts, music, home ec, all that good stuff back in the school system. But we got one more last piece from this bonus footage that I want Adonnica to talk about. That's right behind us that look like a cross.
It is a cross.
Wow.
So this is called Resurrection, and you can see it's the South African flag and the United States flag, and there's the crown of thorns. And this is really powerful. I have not had a chance to talk to Alan, but this is so powerful because is this resurrected, or he's still in the grave, or he's coming out, or what? But it's so powerful and reflective of what we know, the crucifixion of Christ and the resurrection of what? And I think here's our, it's relative, resurrection of what? What are you resurrecting from? What issues are you dealing with? And this is the resurrection. So and does he mean the two countries coming together to resurrect something good out of what has been? So it's so many wonderful ways to take it, but this is a very powerful piece. As you've been drawn to.
Yeah, it's amazing because this is the South African flag.
And this is board. So
wood.
Again, this is wood. This is wood. And so you can be creative. And this is a picture, and you put it in the little plexiglass piece. It's seared in there.
Wow.
But again, every day, this again is a collage or mixed media piece. The use of the chains and the wire to tell the story.
This reminds me of what they used to tell the older elders used to say, that if they want to hide anything from you, put it in the book.
Right.
So that's why
Why I
it's
hide anything from you, you put it in art.
yeah.
Because they're not.
It's up to the interpretation.
It's up to interpretation.
You have to talk to the
You have to
artist.
talk to the artist, or just look at the piece and see what does it talk to you. I think the piece, it's a spirit. When you talk to an artist, this is a spiritual journey for them when they create an art piece. And some of them have expressed that though they want their items to sell, sometimes it's hard because they've given a piece of themselves in the piece.
Right.
And it's easier for them, those who are really into it, that if the person who's buying the piece really loves it, it's easier for them to let it go because they have given so much of themselves. And many times they talk about, they start off, they're going to do one thing, but the art piece takes over and it's something totally different. So that's why I say the arts can serve as a way of helping us spiritually, mentally, emotionally. The art has its way.
Right. That's amazing. So we gave you this bonus footage. I hope you loved it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure if you're in the Jacksonville area, Northeast Florida area, or even in the state of Florida, it is worth the drive to come see these pieces in person. We gave you a backstage pass, but it's one piece, the one that's made out of fabric, really drawn to me because I'm into fashion, and it's just amazing how the artists capture and take everyday materials that we use and repurpose them and share their story. And just like Adonnica said, their spiritual journeys to be able to release in a way because society does not always understand our culture. They do not always understand the solution that works for them works for us. So this is Teresa Gamble, Courageous Conversations, and my amazing co-host today, Adonnica Toler. We wanted to give you a real live culture experience, and we got so much more coming up for you all in 2022. So stay connected. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Courageous Conversation with Teresa W. Gamble, bridging generational gaps through active listening and action-oriented changes.